So Ryan, qualifying is over here at the most crazy race in the world, the TITC 2026 in Bangkok. Talk us a little bit through all these crazy sessions for your team. What has happened from your perspective?
Yeah, I mean, what a roller coaster of a week, honestly. Like the amount of practice, the amount of effort that goes in from so many people. There's tears, there's laughter, and at the end of all that, to come away with two A-main finals in both open brushless cars and 17.5 no boost, over the moon.
Yeah, especially when we look on the open brushless class, it's super competitive. We have so many crazy fast guys here, and you have two cars in the main. It's Lincoln Cott from Australia and a Japanese driver, Shinya Shimazaki. Yeah, so I watched some of their runs also, and their cars have been looking amazing. How much work have you put into the setup to be so competitive in these open brushless classes?
Yeah, I mean, we had a pretty good start last year. Lincoln did really well. He was in the B final last year, and it was his first ever TITC. So, he was kind of managing the emotions of the week and everything and learning just how you approach such a crazy race like this. And, even yesterday, like overnight, he was sitting around 15th. And then today he just came out and he pulled out a P3 and a P7. And we were all just like, what? Overnight, Lincoln's dad, Grant, was like, oh, man, I couldn't even imagine if we made the A-main, and then now he's sitting 7th. So the effort Lincoln has put in over the last year, like honestly, he wants this more than anything in the world, and I love that. And that's, I knew it was just a matter of time. It was a matter of, when it would happen, and it's happened now, and he didn't expect it. We kind of hoped for it, but we didn't really expect it, and the fact that it's all come to fruition is amazing for him.
Yeah, I mean, you also have then two more drivers in the final of the non-boost class, which sounds slow, but when you see the non-boost class here, it's really fast on track. Talk us through these two guys, please.
Yeah, it was Shinosuke Mori and also Luke Watson from Australia as well. Two guys that have been on the team for quite a while now, in both Japan and also Australia. And yeah, I mean, they're both driving SP1s out of the box, and the performance has been great. I know Luke works a lot on his setup at home, and our tracks are nothing like this. So the fact that he comes from something so different, and he's managed to pull it all together here is a massive credit to him. And Shinosuke as well, like he's always there in Japan, and he's always been a major player in Japan and very influential there as well. And to come here, his first TITC, I believe.
That's amazing.
It is amazing, yeah, and he's really pulled it all together. He had one rough run, but then in the last one he had a great round, and yeah, we were able to pull it off.
Okay, so very great results in these classes. Let's talk a little bit about modified. It's the most competitive you can ever imagine to be here. What happened to you guys in this class? Because there's no car in the A-main, which is, I would say, not a shame, because there are many manufacturers which are not in the A-main. Tell us a little bit about modified.
Yeah, I mean, we're all running, some special parts on the car, and we've brought a lot of new updates here. So modified was probably, I would say, more of a test than the other classes. Although Shinya is running the updated parts in open brushless was P5 on the grid. But yeah, in modified, as you know, it's a different story. You've got several there's probably, I don't know how many, 10 plus world champions.
Maybe all except Masami.
Yeah, exactly. All except Masami. It's absolutely insane. And like when you look at the level, like the difference between being, the difference between Mikkel and the guy in 30th, or me, it's only like 8 seconds, which when you really think about it, it's not much. You're fitting 30 people within 8 seconds. And Antoine had an amazing last run. He did a 5:05, which was basically 5 seconds off Mikkel. So in my eyes, for something we're still working on and developing, to be only 5 seconds off the absolute fastest person and team in the world, I'm stoked with that. And Jeff's been working together, with us as well. In the last run, he had an awesome run too, and just, massive praise for the car. Myself, I've been a little bit rusty on the driving, had a little bit of bad luck as well, but I was working on the setup. I know it was never about the result for me, but in the end, Antoine used basically exactly the setup that I developed, and we came up with around probably Tuesday, and he's basically stuck with that. I've tried to improve it, and, just chasing the track conditions, but Antoine's stuck with that, and maybe change really small things, like maybe up in the diff a little bit, which is what we did for today, and that worked really well. And now he's getting closer and closer to the front, so with a bit more time we maybe could be a little bit closer, but I'm absolutely content with what we've achieved.
Yeah, I mean, when Ryan is saying that he is a bit rusty, I saw some of his runs, and this guy is still pretty fast, so believe me. But it's just important just to explain this to the people who are not here, who are maybe watching from Europe, from America, from wherever, because you easily can say to every manufacturer who has maybe no car in a modified A-main, maybe their car is not fast enough or their driver is not good enough. But it's so ultra competitive, as you just mentioned. 30 drivers finishing and qualifying in an 8-second window.
Yeah.
Normally at a national race, you're still comfortably in the A main, maybe.
That's right. And I mean, I've been going to this race for a lot of years, and basically what I have done even this weekend would have easily been in the B main like 3 years ago, right? But that just shows the level. Like a lot of the Asian drivers, the Japanese especially, are getting better and better and better. Europeans are now coming in, and it's a world champion. I honestly believe the level is as high, if not higher, than a world championship, and everyone gets the chance to be here for quite a while, which means there's no like, oh, you've been to the track before. Like obviously with the worlds, you've got people testing there before, and you got the pre-worlds and all that, so it's a little bit different. But when you come here, you've got all the time in the world to get the setup right, and there's only like 2 days that actually count. So you spend 10 days or 8 days trying to perfect the setup, and then only 2 days count. Everything changes, and it's basically like starting fresh. So it's just so difficult, and I think it's just an amazing race. And I really think if you get the chance to come here and experience it, do it. Like I think it's the greatest race in the world.
Okay, my last question is about the modified A mains tomorrow. Who will be on the podium? 1, 2, 3.
Whoa. I'm going to start with Mikkel. He's just the absolute class of the field at the moment, and I'm really rooting for him. He's running a lot of our Innovate products as well, and he's always been a massive supporter of me and everything I do. So yeah, I really love to see Mikkel win. Second, it's hard. You can't count out Bruno. He's always there, and I think in Q5 he wasn't far from Mikkel. There was a few little maybe mistakes that cost him. So yeah, I'm going to say Bruno P2, and then for P3. I don't even know who's on.
So the grid is then third spot Akio, then Simon Lauter, Mark Reinhardt.
I got to go with the GOAT, man.
With Mark.
Reinhardt, yeah, man. You can never count out. When it comes to A main finals, you can never count out Mark Reinhardt. So I'm going to say Mark in P3.
Okay, so thank you for the moment. Ryan Maker here from RC Maker and Innovate. Really happy with the results in open brushless and non-boost, and also with the great performance here in the modified class at the 2026 edition of the TITC in Bangkok, Thailand.